Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's really taken over almost without us noticing: artificial intelligence.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, think back to 2016 when AI beat a world champion Go player. That felt huge.
Monumental, yeah.
But then, it sort of faded into the background as the tech just kept accelerating.
Right.
And now it feels like in maybe just the last 18 months, we've gone from asking, should we even use this?
Okay, how do we use this effectively? What are the best use cases?
Exactly. It's a massive leap. And businesses are definitely feeling it. I saw a stat saying 91% expect real productivity bumps from generative AI.
And that speed, that rapid evolution is exactly why we're digging in today. Our mission here is to cut through the hype.
Get past the buzzwords.
Precisely. To really understand not just what generative AI can do, and it can do a lot, but maybe more importantly, what it cannot do.
Right, because that tells us what we still need to do.
Exactly. What you as managers, as operations specialists, must keep doing, maybe even more strategically, to make sure your company thrives. So we've pulled the key insights from our sources to give you a clearer picture, a kind of roadmap.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Generative AI, it's undeniably a powerhouse for efficiency, for automation. It's really changing how businesses operate.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
what's striking is just how broad the impact is. This isn't theory anymore.
Yeah.
Companies are seeing tangible value.
Real ROI.
Yeah, many expect positive ROI within, say, 1 to 5 years. Think about marketing.
Mhm.
Gen AI is reshaping operations there, cutting costs, improving return.
Okay.
But it's wider than just marketing. We're seeing serious cost savings, maybe 26% to 31% in areas like supply chain, procurement, finance, accounting, even customer service and HR.
Wow.
It boosts efficiency by taking over routine stuff, enables faster data analysis, helps with decision making. It can run customer service 24/7, cut errors in complex tasks like loan servicing.
That breadth is, well, it's kind of staggering. But cost savings and efficiency can sometimes feel a bit abstract.
Sure.
Could you maybe bring it to life? Like, give us a couple of really concrete examples of where this is making a difference.
Definitely. Let's take marketing and customer experience.
Yeah.
AI can automate things like lead scoring, right?
Right.
Or help craft super targeted campaigns.
Hyper-personalization.
Exactly that. Boosting conversion rates, building loyalty, and AI chatbots, they can mimic human chat pretty well now, track orders, offer discounts. You see companies like Wendy's, Papa John's, Uber using it to handle orders faster.
Right.
Plus, it speeds up content creation,
Yeah.
drafting copy, brainstorming marketing angles, that kind of thing.
So it's really touching the whole customer journey, making it smoother, more personal. What about on the factory floor? Operations? Manufacturing?
Oh, operations and manufacturing is another huge one. For plant maintenance, think about AI identifying potential equipment failures before they shut down production.
Predictive maintenance.
Spot on. Automating diagnostics, optimizing how assets perform by crunching huge amounts of real-time data. In manufacturing itself, it spots inefficiencies using live data feeds.
Yeah.
It can do AI-powered time and motion studies, analyzing thousands of work cycles, way more than a human could,
Okay.
and AI-based line balancing to optimize the production flow. There's even this concept called digital poka-yoke.
Like mistake proofing.
Exactly, but digital,
Mm-hmm.
using computer vision to catch errors in real time, even tiny quality issues the human eye might miss.
It's like having this incredibly focused, tireless assistant. I've also heard it's making waves in more office-based roles, too.
That's right. In financial and administrative tasks, it's speeding up credit analysis, making balance sheet reviews easier, beefing up fraud detection.
Hmm.
It can automate parts of the lending process, even pull loan opportunities out of emails, apparently. For HR, think streamlining applicant screening, onboarding, even internal knowledge sharing.
And augmenting knowledge work itself.
Yes, augmenting knowledge work is key. It's a massive help in software development, drafting code, suggesting fixes, finding bugs faster, and it can transform how companies manage internal knowledge. Imagine employees just asking questions in plain language to find stored info, having a dialogue with the system. That leads to better decisions.
Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting for me. With all this incredible stuff AI can do, what can't it do? Where are the boundaries? What are those uniquely human things that we still own?
That's the crucial question, isn't it?
Especially for managers trying to navigate this. If AI handles that much, what's left for us? What becomes even more important for us to do?
Well, here's the thing. AI gives us powerful data, amazing predictions, but it's not inherently good at determining decisions, especially decisions that need deep insight into complex, maybe even unknown factors.
So it provides the what, but not necessarily the why or the what next.
Kind of. Setting the big picture, the organization's overall AI vision, the strategic roadmap that still rests firmly with human leadership. You, as managers, you're the ones wrestling with complex stuff like demand forecasting accuracy or inventory optimization. AI gives you better data, sure, but the final high-stakes call, like exactly how much inventory to carry, that's still yours.
So it's not about outsourcing the big strategic thinking. It's about having better tools to make those human judgments.
Precisely. And actually, with generative AI, the probabilistic kind of, the ones where the output isn't always 100% certain.
Right. They can sometimes hallucinate or get things wrong.
Exactly. Those systems actually need more human involvement, more manual checks to review the outputs. You absolutely should not use one AI to check the work of another AI. That judgment needs a human sanity check.
That makes sense.
One source put it bluntly, AI is not good at determining decisions. Taking the data and figuring out potential solutions, that still takes a lot of human insight. You need to account for hundreds of factors, known and unknown, that you, the human expert, understand and need to feed to the AI.
So domain expertise becomes even more critical.
Absolutely crucial, both for setting up the data correctly and for judging if the AI's predictions actually make sense in the real world, if they translate into smart business moves.
Okay, that distinction, data provider versus decision determiner, is key. What about the softer side? Ethics, empathy, human connection.
Yeah, that's another major area. AI really struggles with complex ethical dilemmas. Think about tricky medical ethics choices or even judicial sentencing. It just doesn't have the nuance, the emotional intelligence needed for things like counseling either.
Right.
And there are real risks with AI-generated content we have to manage constantly. Things like potential IP infringement, accuracy issues, biases baked into the models.
And the scary stuff like deepfakes or disinformation.
Exactly. All that demands constant human ethical judgment. And interestingly, the demand in the workforce for skills like relationship management and empathy actually outweighs the demand for many purely technical AI skills right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it shows there's still a huge premium on those uniquely human qualities.
Okay, so bringing this all together,
Yeah,
what does it mean for us as managers, as ops specialists? How do we actually step into this role of like orchestrating humans and AI? It sounds like less doing, more leading.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's about strategically integrating AI to augment human work, not just replace it. You become the conductor, really.
The conductor of the human AI orchestra. I like that.
Yeah, because Gen AI is taking over lots of routine tasks middle managers use to handle status updates, basic performance tracking, simple project coordination.
Freeing them up.
Exactly. Freeing up managers to focus on what we're calling higher value work, and freeing up individual contributors to spend more time on their core specialized tasks, too. There are even studies showing that when AI handles the mundane stuff, people report feeling more creative and actually enjoying their jobs more.
That's huge. So it's not just about efficiency gains, but potentially a more engaged, more fulfilled workforce. That shifts the manager's role significantly.
Absolutely. Your job becomes less about checking boxes and more about identifying, defining, and guiding your team towards those more creative, complex, problem-solving activities.
Like instead of chasing status reports, you're figuring out how to tackle that complex supply chain issue AI flagged but couldn't solve on its own.
Precisely. Using human creativity where it's needed most. And beyond guiding the work, managers with oversight from the board, of course, are fundamentally responsible for setting up the right control environment for these AI tools. Right. Strong governance, which absolutely has to include ethical considerations. Defining clear policies, procedures, guidelines for how you identify AI tools, how you bring them in, deploy them, and critically, how you monitor them.
And that monitoring isn't just automated.
No, that's key. Research shows continuous human interaction in monitoring AI is actually better at catching problems early than just relying on automated checks alone.
Interesting.
So that means regular reviews by actual employees looking at performance, checking for fairness, periodic human checks of the models themselves and the data they were trained on. And you need processes to handle new risks like those AI hallucinations we mentioned where the AI just spits out nonsense. Strong governance is your safety net.
And underlying all of this is data quality, right? The old garbage in, garbage out must be amplified with AI.
Massively amplified. It's absolutely your responsibility as a leader to ensure you have a strong data foundation. High-quality, real-time data flowing in from different systems is essential for AI to give you anything meaningful.
So data governance is foundational.
Foundational. Establishing controls over the relevance, the reliability of all the information AI uses, keeping track of training data, and constantly monitoring performance for model drift.
Model drift.
Yeah, that's when an AI model's accuracy degrades over time because the real-world data starts changing or the environment shifts. You need to watch for that to ensure the AI stays accurate and effective.
Okay, so it feels like alongside investing all this money in AI tech, investing in our people, our human capital, developing the right skills is actually more critical than ever.
You've hit the nail on the head. This isn't just a tech upgrade. It's a human transformation. It demands a big shift in how we value and cultivate human skills and behaviors.
So tackling the skills gap is paramount.
Absolutely. To really get the most out of AI, companies need to proactively figure out what skills they need now, design targeted training, maybe collaborate with external experts to stay ahead of the curve. Leaders especially need specific skills to roll out AI effectively, get their teams on board, and manage all the risks involved.
And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, is it? You mentioned age or skill level might play a role.
That's right. Some research suggests, for instance, that younger professionals might adapt or absorb the intricacies of AI a bit more quickly, what they call absorptive capacity. So your strategies need to account for that kind of variation in the workforce.
So upskilling is crucial, but it's also about deliberately cultivating those human traits AI can't mimic. those supporting behaviors.
Precisely. The data is pretty clear.
Mm.
Yes, specialist AI skills matter, but the demand for things like adaptability, creative thinking, empathy, teamwork, relationship management, these are just as crucial, maybe even more so.
They're indispensable, really.
They're described as indispensable to leverage the technology. You need those human skills to make the tech work effectively in a human organization. And fostering this requires an empathetic, a human-centered approach to learning, turning that initial fear some people might have about AI into curiosity, building a culture of continuous learning.
And you can even use AI to help with that.
Yeah, that's the neat part. Leverage AI itself to create personalized learning paths, tailor development, free up employee time for learning. We're seeing companies like Aon and Admiral Group using AI in their learning platforms, their internal talent marketplaces, to predict future skill needs and match people with opportunities to grow.
What an incredible deep dive this has been. It really crystallizes that while generative AI is this amazing engine for efficiency, for automation on a scale we've never seen, its real power comes when you integrate it thoughtfully with human intelligence, with human judgment.
Absolutely.
From setting the high-level strategy, making those tough ethical calls, to orchestrating how humans and AI collaborate, and building workplaces that value those human skills. Our roles as managers, as operations leaders, are definitely changing, evolving dramatically, but they're certainly not disappearing.
No, far from it. The big takeaway for you, our listener, has to be that the future isn't AI replacing humans. It's about humans using AI intelligently, strategically. Your critical thinking, your ethical compass, your leadership and governance, your ability to foster those essential human behaviors, adaptability, empathy, creativity, those are going to be the things that truly differentiate your organization's success going forward.
So here's a final thought to mull over. If AI can now perfectly optimize a process you used to spend hours on, what entirely new, uniquely human problems will you now have the time, the mental space, the creative energy to tackle for your organization?